Oh, hello, Nicholas.
Oh, hey there. How's it going, Cormac?
It's going well. How are your videos going? I see you were posting some.
Yeah, I'm trying to post more, but it's complicated. I'm running out of ideas.
Exactly. You see, this is what happens when you don't have an idea for your channel. It doesn't work that way, I realize. You have to. Every of
Yeah,
those people run out of ideas and then you get burnt out. You don't know what you're thinking about. So I think you need to have an idea for your channel. Like again, if you use something like books like you did before, or new books or
sure.
trending books, then you got something new for people to think about because people like something new or trendy. Then they might click on it and you go, this is a new book, it's coming out, and you'll show the cover. You don't have to have the book in your hand and say what it's about or something. Then you'll always have new
Yeah,
material. You understand?
yeah,
The
yeah.
other
And I was thinking
idea,
about that because trying to make some videos about classic books, for example, like when I did that video about the Art of War book, it like almost got viral. I
exactly.
remember it got almost more than 8,000 views.
Okay,
And
yeah, that's
in the
excellent.
statistics of the YouTube, you can see for how many people the video appeared. And I remember it appeared to more than 2,000. No, it wasn't. It was 200,000 people.
200,000. Yeah, okay, that's good. So there you go. So my point is that book is a really good book. So what you do is I think using an idea of old books and new books coming out. The new books,
Yeah, sure.
you won't know anything about the new books, but maybe you can type in what the book is about in ChatGPT or a synopsis and talk
Sure.
about the writer. And then you say, this book is coming out. I saw something that was trending in America. So I saw only because I have what do I have? I have
Hmm.
podcasts and I follow the Wall Street Journal podcast and they were
Okay.
talking about book talk. I don't know what
Book.
book talk is, but they're just saying maybe people talk about books on book talk and like TikTok book talk, and then people were looking up the books and it was making book sales go really good.
Mm, I see.
So someone who had a bookshop started using book talk herself to sell her books. But anyway, that can be an idea. And other ideas, if you don't want to do
Sure.
books, you can do trending topics. So if you type in trending topics Google, or trending topics like
Oh,
Brazil trending
yes,
topics.
that's right.
So for
Exactly. That's
example, if
right.
I
I
type that
forget
in,
about the Google Trends.
so
It's
if I
actually
type in, yeah, so if I type
people
in
use
Google,
it a lot for the YouTube video ideas, the Google
exactly.
Trends.
But if you want to do something like, okay, what's trending this week in Brazil, or what's trending in the last couple of hours,
Yeah,
and have three short videos, so you can have Brazil versus Japan, because that's what's up there now. That was the
yeah,
female game. You could talk before it happens or after it happens and say, oh, this was the game, this is what happened, Brazil won, and have just like a 5 minute video on it. You can do short videos, and then say another thing that's trending today is, let me type in Perula. Perula is a YouTuber. I have no idea. He's a Brazilian
Roma.
paleontologist, and he just went.
Oh,
So
I know him. It's a guy with a very big beard, I
yeah,
believe.
yes, and long hair. So this
With
guy
hair.
just had an ABC. So he's in the
Yeah, I forgot
UTI.
about it.
So that just happened today. So my point is, if you say Perula's in hospital today, this is what happened to him. He's a famous paleontologist. People just might want to know about it. My point is, people
Sure.
like things that are trending or news. So if you keep that, but the thing is, you always get information. It's not,
Yeah.
you don't have to think. You're getting information yourself. You can ask ChatGPT to help you write a script and just do a 5 minute
Sure.
video. So
I,
they're the
I
best
see that
options.
also videos that are just reacting to some news or perhaps about what other YouTube said,
Yeah, but
Uh,
I get those ones do as well. But those ones are, I don't know. I think that's your own opinion. That's going to be your opinion, and
yeah,
people don't. And a lot of times people don't want your opinion. Why is it people don't want your opinion? I only like the opinion of experts or someone who's a specialist in their
sure.
field. Otherwise, I just think I don't care about someone's opinion at all. I don't want to watch those videos. But if you're giving
Yeah,
something more factual about a book, it's interesting, or what a new book's coming out. That's not your opinion sometimes. That's just what it is. And same with the trends.
hmm,
You're just showing the trends, which is good. Which is good. And people like things that are new and interesting. They're the best things I think to follow. Because
yes,
a lot of other channels fail. You'll see people who go, "Oh, I'll show you how to make money on something," and then they don't really know how to make money. They're just copying other people's
yeah,
channels, and they become rubbish.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's
true.
other interesting things too. People who do political channels, or people who do sports channels and talk about their football team. They work as well, but as long as you have a good, entertaining personality, it works. Um, The
Yeah.
other thing you're doing wrong, again, is the first thing is aesthetics. So I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter
Yes.
how good your content is. If you're in this room because you're black, it's really the light is on one side and it's dark on the other side.
Yes,
It
that's a
doesn't look
complicated
good.
thing because I have to get a camera and a microphone for the videos because
And the
I'm
light,
just and the
maybe a light,
lighting. Yes.
because the light, because a lot of people do use lights when they're doing their channels because you have to look bright, and it depends what's behind you. So look, if I had a bright light behind my screen, you would see these things behind me, and a lot of people love this in my when I do my work. They point out, oh, I like how decorated it is.
Yeah,
It's
it
nice.
is. It's
And
very nice.
another time I was in front of a lion as well. I'd have a lion, and people like the lion, and they go, "Oh, that's really cool
Yes.
to see that." So you
Gives
need something
a little
behind
touch
you.
to the scenario, you know.
It
But
does. Your scenario looks dark, and it's not nice.
it's just like the void, you know.
It's a void, and they point, and that's what people. So I remember when I started a YouTube channel, I was they said your thumbnail is important because it's what they see. So I remember doing like I did one about rain and stuff, which is fine. I did other ones was a religious one, but I showed the religious person's face or something, so they know it's about that person.
Sure.
You can
Yeah.
see your face,
For
but your
example, do you
background's
use
wrong.
your the own camera from your laptop, or are you using another type of camera?
I know I'm only using this is my laptop camera. It depends on the
Yeah, it's
light
very
here is
nice. No, it's
the
very nice
laptop.
because.
Yeah, it depends on because it's a dark day today. The light doesn't look
Oh,
good
okay.
here. But if I turn on my light, let me see if I turn on my light and see if it looks better and it
Okay.
gives a better look. One second. I don't
Yeah,
know. No, that doesn't make so much of a difference. It makes a little bit of a
it's
difference. The
nice.
light's in front of me. But my point is, if
It's
you're
kind of
seeing the
nice.
sun coming through, it looks brighter, and here it looks warmer, and it's more inviting than to see someone actually talking. Yours does not look
Yes.
inviting, and they always say that's the first thing someone's going to notice about your channel. They'll just see you, and they'll see a dark room.
Yeah,
No one's going to click on it.
I was thinking because, for example, just in front of me, it's my window, so all the light's coming directly at me. And the problem with the laptop camera, it's very bad, you know, because when some of the videos, the lighting, the camera quality, it's better just because of the lighting. But
Right.
in some videos, it's darker, you know, and I just cannot focus the camera. It's I don't know
Sure.
what's gonna happen.
Do you have a light on your phone? Put the light on your phone behind
Yeah,
your
it
computer and
actually
see if it
doesn't
makes a
help too
difference.
much, you
Doesn't
know.
help.
Look, I'm here, but
No, no, no. Yeah,
it
no
actually
difference.
it
Okay,
doesn't
I
help.
don't know. Try change maybe your
So,
position. I don't know, like your
yeah, I was
table
thinking
or
about that
something.
because it actually it gets a little bit in the way, you know, because of the window
The light,
lighting.
yeah, and also try
If
maybe be
I
closer to the
take
wall.
believe that now it's too bright.
Oh, but
Uh,
that might be too bright, but it's still a little
Bright,
bit.
yes.
But it's still better than
Oh,
before
look,
because that's way too.
the
Yeah,
camera focus will shift.
that's way
Yeah,
too
so that's the
dark. Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, so that's
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 the
an issue though,
problem.
but everyone has to fix, right? You're lighting like even with my wife with her job, she doesn't need her face, but her microphone in the
Yeah.
right position and the type of mic she uses makes her voice better and the quietness of the room.
Yes,
That's important for her. But yours might be the quietness.
I'm thinking about that.
But I'm going to say aesthetic beauty is the most important thing that people see in the thumbnail.
Sure.
So where you are is just not going to work ever. You understand? It doesn't matter. You need somewhere that looks nicer because no one's going to click on your thumbnail. The other issue I think you're doing wrong as well is you're looking down at the camera and you're speaking downwards. That doesn't
Oh
work either.
yes,
Most
yes, that's
people are
true.
most people are standing straight at the camera and looking. So I would say put your camera up higher or sit lower, something like that.
Like this, you know.
Yeah, yeah, because you're looking down. See, it's looking down,
Yeah.
and no. If you look at other YouTube channels, no one's looking down; they're looking straight. So there are two things you have to fix first, and then it's your content. So again, I don't know what is a good thing for YouTube. Maybe type it in ChatGPT. What's a good thing for a channel? But again, I would say trending topics is more
Yeah.
interesting, or doing book reviews. Everything else is a podcast. So again, if I look at my podcasts, they're nearly all interviews because I'm listening to people who are intelligent, talking to people intelligent. I'm not going to listen to someone just talking one on one most of the time. I find they'll get bored. They have to talk to someone else. And the other thing
Yeah.
is like talking about a subject. Again, I would listen to sports channels, so someone could just talk about football, or someone could talk about true crime, but that gets boring as well. I'm guessing there's lots of true crime Brazilian ones too, because I'm not
Yeah,
going
I
for
think
true
that
crime.
people also loves the vlog videos, you know, showing your bedroom, your books, perhaps making a video of yourself in the gym working out and talking about some topic. I don't know
Sure,
what.
but you still need a topic. You can't just talk about your life forever. You know what I mean?
Oh
Those
yes, sure.
those ones get boring. You need to have an issue. You need to have something that's interesting that you're talking
Yeah.
about that's not yourself. So that's why people do trending topics, or people do books or politics or something like that.
Mhm.
But there's so many of those channels. I don't know how you win the market over. I don't know. Yeah, that's what's hard.
Yeah, but that's right. I have to first of all fix the, like you said, the aesthetics, because I don't like it myself, the aesthetic of the video. I don't feel as comfortable as I could be when I'm recording a video, because sometimes when I'm recording a video and I see the camera focus just shift to, and it's perhaps more bright or more or darker,
Yeah, like
and
now
it
it just
just
did that.
I get a little, yeah, you see, and my focus, it just shifts a little, and it's
Yeah,
hard
it
to go
takes you off what you're talking
concentrate
about. Sure.
on the topic.
Mm,
And then
Yeah,
sometimes I have to edit the video later.
yeah, and then there's other people who do cooking. Yeah, but that gets boring unless you can cook. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know what to
uh,
say, and there's so many of those channels too. Yeah.
yeah. So, for example, last video I've talked about a, a topic. It's basically the flags theory. So it's basically people that are trying to seek other options to tax residency in other countries. So
Mm.
I've talked a lot about Paraguay. You see, because I've met some people that I've met a guy that he has an agency that helps people planning their trip to Paraguay, get their tax residency down there, to uh, trying to pay less taxes, because in Paraguay, as I understand, when you have your income coming from other countries, perhaps in reais or even dollars, euro, you don't pay taxes down there in Paraguay,
Ooh,
and
interesting.
then you can stay there for some months. You don't have to stay there all year long, and then you can get your I would say, I believe the correct word is tax residency.
Okay.
Even you get your citizenship in Paraguay and get the passport, but that it's another topic. And I've talked about this topic, and it's hard to say, because in YouTube I searched for some videos, and it's like very unknown topic.
Well, that's because it's kind of seems a little bit criminal, right? But
Yeah,
in
but it's
Brazil, it's
not.
very common. But
It's
it's
totally,
not. You know why? Because well, it's fine. But
yeah,
I
it
think it's
sounds
normal.
nice.
Because I had a guy, well, I can say two guys. Yesterday, I had a guy working for the Secretary of Fazenda, and he's like, "Yeah, it's
Oh
stupid, all the
wow.
tax." Yeah, and he was just saying it's stupid. He only paid his taxes yesterday. My wife only did it
Oh
yesterday,
yes,
but she only did it yesterday because she sent it before. But the guy only got back to her yesterday. The accountant waits till the last minute, and then he says not to pay the proper tax, because in Brazil he goes, "Oh, you'll pay too much taxes," and he goes, "This is ridiculous.
yeah,
You should not pay that tax to the
yeah,
government because
that's
you
true.
get nothing back." So I think all these accountants do the same thing. Don't pay all this money to the government, because the government are just stealing your money. This guy said the same thing. The guy was secretary of the Fazenda said it's the same thing. It's rubbish. All these taxes are so stupid. It just seems like we're paying taxes and we're not getting anything back. And that was his job, to collect the tax. And he was saying
Yeah,
about the inheritance tax is like 4%. He goes, this seems so unfair as well. I agree with that. Inheritance tax seems like it seems criminal. Why does the government think you have right to something that they don't own that belongs to your parent? It's so insane.
yeah, yeah, that's true. It's hard because, uh, for example, when your grandparents leave their inheritance for you, they just save that money so you can live a better life. Have a better
Yeah,
quality of life, and to tax that is just crazy for me. It doesn't make sense, but
that one doesn't make sense. Yeah,
it is what it is.
as all
And
countries have it.
for example, this topic I talked to you about, taking your tax residency on Paraguay, on other countries like Georgia, Portugal, and stuff. It's totally legal, but
Uh-huh.
it's a topic that people are getting to know more about it just now,
Hmm.
because you see like the increase of some taxes like that IOF. I don't know if it's the same thing in English. It's the tax when you're trying to convert other currencies. For example, dollar to real, euro to real. So the government just increased the tax, and a lot of people are just frustrated and try to seek other options, and then the topic starts to uh, trending higher,
Okay. Okay, I never heard of it. Yeah, it's interesting though. I'm guessing a lot of people, Brazilians, do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've actually on May 22nd, I've been to a Bitcoin event. Not in the main thing I talked to some people was not just about Bitcoin, but actually about this, because a lot of people had agencies, not just to Paraguay, but also to Uruguay and other places to get this residency, tax residency, to try to get away from the Brazil taxes,
Hmm.
Of course,
Okay.
in a legal way. It's not illegal,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. It's funny. It's funny, but I'm sure that happens in England too. Years ago in
Yeah,
Ireland, the banks in the 1980s, I think, or 1970s, start telling everyone to put their money in offshore banks, which is completely against the law. But the banks told the people to do it, so
yeah,
everyone just did it because the banks told them to do it. And then afterwards, the government came out and said this is illegal. Anyone who done this is going to pay a fine. So my uncle did it, but he only did it because he was advised by his bank manager. And he's like, this is crazy. It's like, I'm being fined because
yeah,
the bank told me to do something and now it's against the law. It's like, this makes no sense. But in England, they do the same. They found Tony Blair used his something residency of Cayman Islands or something to buy something without taxes, a house in England. So he didn't have to pay like
yeah,
an extra 50,000 in tax on the house. It was really weird. But anyway, so it seems like they're all doing it. They just break their own laws. You know, it's
sure.
like I think a lot of times we study the law or know the law so we can manipulate the law. That's why you study it, to manipulate it in your own advantage.
Yeah, I see that some people say I don't know a lot about the Brazil jurisdiction
Yeah, there's
tension
so many things I
about
probably don't
Brazil
know either.
laws, but people say that the Brazil jurisdiction, the laws in general are very flexible, so you can get a lot of flaws in a legal way, So
Sure.
that's the problem.
Sure. But
Police
again, you
communicating.
can use it to our advantage. And again, there's like a lot of people in Brazil have businesses as well. They don't register their business. So I'm guessing like when I go to my barber who's in my neighborhood, he doesn't have his business registered. You know what I mean? I don't think any of these people do. And he also has a second house. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, does he register his second house and his business as a barber? I 100% say no, he doesn't. you know?
yeah,
So well, that's just the way things
sure.
work. Anyway. Yeah, it's hard to come up with interesting things then. So maybe if you go on again, I always say you could use ChatGPT. So asking about the change of
Yeah,
Caldera
it
and ask it
actually
to do
helps a
something
lot,
similar.
It actually helps a lot.
It
Getting
can because
ideas in your videos and making some script. Actually,
making scripts because you can get 20 topics and then then you go, okay, I got the next 20
yeah,
topics ready and you can get them prepared in advance. You can go, okay, I'll try to do these 20 in 3 days or 4 days and then I can put them up for the next 20 days or something. You know?
yeah. For example, I do not try to write the script for me to read. So, for example, I make a mind map, in some app, and then I try to organize, structure the video in some key topics, I want to talk about. And then I just show them this mind map and start talking what comes in my mind about
Okay,
this.
yeah, but then you're good at that. I think it's really hard. I don't have that flow. You'd have to have a
Yeah,
good flow with your
actually,
mind to
I
do
can.
that.
Before starting recording, I tried to make a mind script on my own head of the video. About what
Okay,
I'm going to say, what I'm going to go through it,
sure.
and
Okay,
then
phenomenal idea.
I just started recording and saying aloud. It
Okay, yeah,
actually
that,
works a little bit for me, but sometimes I had to cut the video because in some parts I just forget about
yeah,
what
you go
I'm
blank.
going to
That's
say,
what I
you
mean.
know?
That's why I think it's so hard. I would go blank all the time. I'd be like,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
Sometimes a little bit hard, but some topics that I already have some confidence, some knowledge about it, it's easier. You know, I don't have to edit the video a lot. But some topics, for example, like this one I talked to you about, Paraguay tax residency, I had to edit the videos some much more, you know,
okay,
because
yeah, that's what I mean. That's harder for timing. I don't know.
yeah.
Have you ever tried to read off a script, or is that too hard too? Or does that sound unnatural?
Actually, I don't like to perhaps reading a script or following
Yeah,
a
it seems
script.
fake. Maybe it doesn't seem natural. That's the problem. Yeah, I wonder how people
Yeah,
do that. Or if
and I
there's acting
see.
involved. I always wonder if there's acting involved. Like people memorize the script and then they act like they know what they're talking about, and it's like they're reading a script.
Yeah, and I see that videos without a script that people just talking, even without a mind map or some tool, you know, just put the camera on and start talking
Yeah, but
with
those
two
people are gifted. I
works.
think those people have a
Works very
natural
well,
gift.
you know.
Yeah, but those people just can do. I can't do that at all. I'd be terrible. I'd definitely go blank. Right.
Yeah, but you can edit the video, you know, cut
And
some
how long does it take you
parts.
then, though? But how time consuming is that? At the end of the day, if you make a 6 minute video and then you have to edit,
It's not a
that could
lot.
be
It's
crazy.
not a lot, you know. For example, I've recorded a longer video. I don't remember which video it was. I think it was introducing my making my introduction. It was more than half an hour. The video, I believe it was like 32 minutes, and I did it in a very natural way because uh, presenting myself to people. So I was very natural. So I didn't have to cut a lot. And when I had to edit the video much more, for example, it doesn't take too much time because I just take the part where I stopped, and then I just get together with the another part of the video that I started again, you know, and then
Okay.
the
But
most
is it
annoying.
obvious? Is it obvious where the break is in the video? Maybe like
Actually not.
over this.
Actually not. It just it's a very quick cut, so
Okay.
it is very natural because uh, I just start again where in the same part where I began, you know. And the most annoying part is just compiling the video, you know, because when I try to post in HD, you know, it's 1080p. I believe it's the
Yeah,
quality
yeah, that's
for
a normal.
HD
Yeah.
videos, and that is the part that it takes longer, you know, to compiling the video and getting the archive and posting to YouTube. So that's a little bit annoying, but it's also quick in that it's at max 15 minutes just to compiling the video. But the rest of it is just recording the video and perhaps cutting some parts.
And
But yeah, really easy.
how many ideas do you have on the list now? So what are your next topics? Do you have like a
Just
topic for
to
10?
just to you know
I mean, they're already over. You're
just to
two. Yeah.
just two video ideas, but are longer videos. You know, I wanted to talk about Bitcoin, but I was thinking that if I try to explain all this, the history, all the political topics, economic topics, would be almost a 1 hour
Yeah,
long
better off.
video.
And I don't know
Would
if
be
people are
very
going to
long.
listen. It'd be too long. And I'm not too sure if people have the attention span to watch everything that's a long video. I think keeping videos so long videos work in some cases, but a lot of times they
Yeah,
don't. It depends because I wouldn't look
yeah,
at a long video on Bitcoin. It depends who's, and again, I'd want to look at an expert. I no offense, I'm not going to click on your video unless it's
yeah.
some
No, sure,
keyboard
I
or
understand
something.
that. For example, myself, I just watch videos on the 2x, you know. So for me,
Yeah,
it's
me too. I do the same as well.
the attention span, for example, a video that is 15 to 20 minutes long, it's very quick to me because even if the person talks a little bit fast, you know, but can still understand what they're saying. but I see that some people talk very slow, very slowly, and the way they organize their ideas and are trying to uh, maintain the conversation topic are very, it's very slow. So you put on the 2x speed and it's very quick.
Yeah,
It's much
I prefer
better.
that as well. I don't like slow talkers. It's too. And then my fast talkers, I have to slow them down. Well, not slow them
Yeah,
down. I can't put them on 2. I have to put them 1.5. But I don't know if that
yeah,
would work either. I think people nowadays are looking for. They don't want to know the history of Bitcoin. I don't think they do anymore. That's just old news. They want to know the new news. They want to know what's trending, what the difference is, what claps. They want to understand those things or how to make the money because that's why they're looking for Bitcoin. Uh, or talk about the coin wallets like CoinPay or CoinPal. I told you I had one of my students. He was working with a company called CoinPal. So CoinPal
yeah.
is like PayPal for Bitcoin, and that was his
Mhm.
jump. That was his company. But he said it's illegal in China. I was like, okay, he could get arrested by the police. But those things are kind of more trending things that people might want to know. But the problem is if you go into Bitcoin and then you're going on to books and then you're going on to something else, you don't really have a definition for your channel. That's another
Yeah,
issue. So the problem is if you go with trending things and have a part that's Bitcoin, because you can't just talk about Bitcoin forever. You can't do like a one, maybe you could do one a week, but I would say less. And you're only going to focus on people who are in Bitcoin. And I'm sure that market is very niche and
yeah,
there's probably more experts in that market. And that makes it really hard to compete with those people, you know?
yes,
So
yes.
I don't know, have it as part of your
Well,
videos and
for
also.
example, I didn't want to just talk about Bitcoin because you can get a very technical, in a very technical
I'm
aspect
sure
of
you
the
have.
Bitcoin.
Well,
And
again, a good idea. Like I was just saying, when you were talking about books, maybe find two books on Bitcoin and then talk about the
yeah,
books on
sure.
Bitcoin. And then that's how you introduce it. Then, of course, you can switch to a completely different topic afterwards. So then it doesn't keep
Yeah,
you in that
yeah.
narrow
And I know that
area.
when it comes to the technical aspect of Bitcoin, there is so many channels that have a much more dense content and explain much better than I could have,
Yeah.
So when it comes to that part, I believe that I could make some technical videos, but I believe that would be much better to try to relate to other topics, to economic topics,
Yeah, probably
political
better too.
topics, and talking, like you said, about some books, trying to summarize what I've.
Yeah, of
What
other people. That might help. Might be more helpful for people. I'll summarize what
Sure.
this book is and what it's about, and then they'll kind of get the basic idea. And of
Yeah.
course, I think also you can stay on the superficial side, so you don't have to go in depth, and then that makes it not so difficult for you to do a video on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's have a look. Last time, then I got new topics, but I can also continue with the last
Okay.
topic. We were still talking about appearance, so we can finish appearance, and then I'll give you new topics. Okay.
So let's finish appearances.
Okay, how important is a person's appearance? Yes, if you're on a YouTube channel, you have to have a good
It's very
appearance.
important.
You have
I
to
was
make
going
sure
to say
your
about
hair,
that.
you'll be like, yeah,
Yeah, I always try to comb my hair, to put on just some water to get my hair straight,
yeah,
because
my
on
hair.
some videos
So,
my hair is just a little bit messy, and after I see the videos, I go and say like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, what's
Who's
going on
going
with
to
my
watch
hair?
this crazy guy?
No one's going to trust me with this hair.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's very
Uh,
important.
what could you do to improve your appearance? Oh, I have no idea.
Take a shower.
Yeah, there you go. Take a shower, comb your hair. Oh, what could I do to improve my appearance? Oh, yeah, I just have to shave or else I look crazy.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Has your appearance ever made you feel bad all day?
That's complicated. I don't think so, at least for now. But I remember when I was a child and I was very, like, I was not fat, but but I was like a
Oh,
little
really?
chubby.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know. Okay. When
How
I
do you
was a
feel
kid, I
bad
didn't.
about this? Like,
Yeah, no one wants to be the fat kid. Sure. Yeah. But I think in Brazil, it seems to be okay to be fat. No one seems ashamed or embarrassed about being fat because so many kids are fat. So,
yeah,
when I was a kid, there might be like one or two fat kids in the class. And like, no one wants to be the fat kid because like, oh, you're stupid,
yeah,
you're fat, you're lazy, you're fat. You don't play football,
yes,
you're fat. And same in my secondary school, there was two fat boys, but they were the same. They were both the nerds. They both had glasses. They were both fat. They both didn't play sport. So you could tell they
Yeah,
were
but
kind of the nerdy
I
kids.
remember when I was a kid, there were a lot of there was fatter kids, you know. I was a lot of like just had that bowl cut, you know, and I was the kids were playing with me about that. But there was like really fat kids, and the bullying on them was very heavy, you know. Even that
Yeah,
they didn't feel like very bad because they also bullied some
someone
other
else.
friends,
Yeah, if
other
they're fatter,
colleagues.
they could push people, I suppose, around.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like
Okay.
that kid that was very, how do you say that, gets much more developed earlier than the other kids, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So
it's like 6 foot when
he's a
in his
child. I remember when I was a kid, there was a guy called, his name was John Paul O'Donovan, and he, like, everyone was afraid of him, but he was in the, what do you say? I can't remember the name. The slow class. He wasn't. He was like the kid that was behind everyone, but there was a few
Yeah.
kids in those classes. But he was kind of scary. No one wanted to sit next to him, and he was bigger than everyone else. He was way bigger than everyone else, and he used to just push people, and everyone was afraid of him. But later on, I remember when I was like 15 or 16, I met him walking down the street. He was looking for an address, and he asked me. I don't know if he recognized me from school, but he asked me where this address was, and but I was never friends with him. But he was the same size as me. He never grew. Like
Wow.
he was 1 meter
Getting
72.
real larger, you know. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I see that because when kids start to develop much earlier than the others, they start to stop growing at some point, you know, and then
yeah.
they just
That
start
might be true.
to uh, get in the same height, you know, same weight and stuff.
Yeah, Brazilians are tall though, or at least in Sao Paulo. I don't know, like the average height is my height in Brazil is 1 meter 72, but I think it's if you go to the
I was
north of the Brazil, people
I
are
was
short.
thinking about that for even when I go to a lot most more crowded places like the Paulista, Liberdade, and if you notice the how do you say
Yeah, the height.
the height of people,
Yeah, that's right.
the
The
partner,
average height, maybe you want
yeah,
to
the
say.
average height, yes, yes, it's a little bit taller, you know, because I am tall. I am like almost like 6 foot 2. Uh, so for me, I don't notice a lot, but when I start to compare it, for example, with my girlfriend, I think she's I don't know in foot, but she's
They
like
say
one
video.
meter and 70 centimeters,
Okay, yeah, she's
and
tall enough for a
people are
woman then, I
actually
would say.
so people are like grown larger, you know. People are taller, people are bigger, you
Yeah.
know.
So my friends are all my height. So my friends are all short. So I'm 1 meter 72, but some maybe my friends are 73, 74, 75, or 77, something like that. But they're short. And my wife is 1 meter 63, I think, something like that. Yeah. But everyone's shorter. But when I look at my nieces, they're taller. And here in Brazil, I'm the shortest guy probably in my area. Actually, there's an old man who's around 80
I
something.
saw
He's shorter than
I
me.
saw a guy saying talking about that. It's basically natural selection because when you have more resources in society, so you can eat more better
Could be.
food, more
But I don't
protein.
but I
People
don't know if
start
that's
to grow larger, you know, getting taller because
well,
when there is periods of famine, people start to
shrink.
like
Yeah.
growing, just
Well,
shrinking
they
to
said
try
that
to.
could be true. In Ireland, there was, but I don't know if that makes sense though, because look, in Ireland, we'll say there was a famine one time, so maybe we became shorter
Yeah.
because the famine happened over 100 years ago. But I don't know if it's their food. So Portuguese, Irish, Italians are shorter, okay? But um, put it this way: the Dutch are it's a wealthy country; they're the tallest. But the Serbians, which is a poor country, is really tall as well. Same with Lithuanians and Polish, and they're traditionally
Yes.
poor. So there has to be some maybe genetics involved. The other weird thing is food. So again, in Brazil and America, people eat more. There's more hormones in your food, right? So again, the cows
Yes.
eat the hormones to get big and fat. You eat the hormones, so we're eating the hormones from the meat, and that meat is changing your body type. So you'll see
Yeah.
people getting taller because of this food. It's particularly eating food that probably isn't healthy is making people taller. It's also
Hmm.
getting people with more spots. So I notice Brazilian adults have a lot more acne than Irish people. They still get
Yeah.
acne.
Yeah.
And
That is
young
true.
Brazilian men look really old. Not you. You look your age. I looked young when I was 21. But I know this young guys, you can see a 14, 15-year-old and he's like square and he's a beard already. And I was like, why does this guy have a beard? He's
That's
14.
true.
But I think it's the hormones in the food is making people just grow quicker. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you just ate rice and beans and ate a lot of rice and beans and organic chicken and whatever else, you probably stay short. Look at
Yeah.
the Japanese. Put it this way: look at the Japanese. They don't grow. They're the same size as me still.
Yeah.
Is it rude to tell someone they need to improve their appearance?
It really depends. It depends. I believe that, for example, if you tell someone in a more gentle way that just like a
You
friend,
smell.
perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be rude, but if you tell someone that he's ugly, he's
Yeah, that's terrible.
ridiculous.
You're ugly. You're so ugly. What happened to you? So nordistino. No. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, it would be ruder.
Okay. How often do you check your appearance in the mirror? Oh,
Well, I don't know. Perhaps before I try to record some video, you know.
yeah, you have to make sure you look well. Sure. I only see my
Yeah,
face in the morning because I forget. I told you since I can only grow half a beard, I forget that I didn't shave. So I'll put on the camera for Cambly in the morning. I was like, oh shit, I look terrible because I can see my whole face as a beard on this side and it's bright over here. But I didn't look at my face in the morning. Like I brush my teeth quickly. I don't even pay attention.
yeah.
Let me see.
Okay.
How often do you talk about other people's appearance? I think we do that for fun. Yeah, like, look, that woman's an elephant.
Yeah,
Got
just
four
gossip,
bums.
you know.
Yeah,
Even with when we are with our, for example, with my girlfriend, and she starts gossiping about other people's appearances, but it's just for fun, you know.
yeah. Who did I see the other day? Well, it was my niece. My niece has got fatter and fatter, and because she has a baby, she does no exercise. And then they're like, "Do you see how fat dude is? He's really fat." Yeah, they knew they were gossiping about her. She wouldn't like it. And I went to the cinema the other day, and I saw a guy wearing a dress, but not like a trans. He had a beard. He had a big fat guy with a beard, and he had earrings and everything.
Yeah,
And he was wearing a lot. He wasn't a dress. It was just a really long T-shirt, like a dress. So he was pretty much wearing his T-shirt like a dress,
sure.
and he looked terrible. I was like, "What is this?" I was like, I remember an episode of Homer Simpson wearing a muumuu. It was called. It was like a dress that men wear in Hawaii or something because he was so fat. And I was like, "What the
Yeah,
hell is that guy wearing?" I was like, what is wrong with my wood Brazil? My wife's like, stop being judgmental, you know? I was like, no, this is insane. Any other country, this would be insane.
yeah,
Are people obsessed with appearance today?
sure, sure they are. Yeah, I believe that it comes to this when it's much more about women. You know, I see that a lot of women are much more obsessed with that. Like they're trying to get at the perfect picture for their Starbucks coffee,
Oh,
or
yeah.
perhaps
Oh, my Lord. My wife likes to eat
they
real food.
they took a photo and start seeing all the time. You know, I don't know why, but I believe it's just like. I don't know if it's because they're obsessed with their own appearance, or perhaps obsessed with about other people, what they're thinking about them.
Well, that could be
I
true
really don't.
too. But I know that's one of the reasons in America they said way more girls were getting depression than ever before because of Instagram
Yeah,
and Facebook. So they were so depressed because everything had to be, they wanted to be the
about the
best.
comparison.
So everyone wanted to be thin and athletic and having fun and having the nice hair and the nice skin. If they weren't, they were wrong and they get really upset and depressed.
Yeah. So, for example, for a long time, I stayed away from Instagram. You know, so I just uh, removed the app from my cell phone and just lived my life along with it. And then when I met some new people, like for example, some colleagues at work, some other people, and they ask me if I do have an Instagram. I say I do, but I actually don't use it, you know. And they just get surprised because it would be like I am a ghost, you know.
Yeah, you're good. I have an Instagram, but I don't use it. I don't post on it. I only used to post my. I think I showed you before my shop, and then I didn't use it. But I use it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's some
you
interesting.
showed me.
Yeah, there's some interesting things to watch on Instagram. So if I'm
Yeah,
bored, I'll look
actually, I
at it.
don't use it because, but for example, for example, now I start to post some videos on my channel. If it starts to grow larger, you know, with the subscribers and stuff, perhaps I can start posting more content on the Instagram, on X. I don't know,
Yeah, but
but
I don't know how that makes money though. That's the kind of the problem. I think
Yeah,
people on Instagram
you
only
can
make.
monetize on Instagram and X. I think it's hard to monetize on them than to monetize on YouTube,
Mm,
because YouTube, I know that you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watched content from people in the last 12 months.
yeah,
That is actually hard if you start posting content consistently, you know.
sure. Yeah. And I think as well, with Instagram, a lot of people only monetize through their links. So it's like they're advertising products they're
Yeah,
putting up there, and then people click on the
yeah, that's
product.
right. Trying to make affiliate
Affiliate, yeah,
products,
affiliate
and
program. Yeah, that's what it's called, affiliate.
yeah,
And they're hoping that people will sell their products or go to their website or something. So I can understand why people do that as well.
yeah. So, for example, I've tried to post some content on X, and I literally got no views.
Then we know you.
Uh,
There you go.
so I believe that, for example, those platforms like X and Instagram are for content creators that are already consolidated, you know,
Sure.
and they have a YouTube channel that it's a little bit famous already, and they just use for um, to answer questions about their life, about some topics, and then they use these questions to make content to the channel. You know,
Okay. Yeah, and that's how it
that
works.
is
Yeah, that's how they make their money overall. Yeah, I guess that's how it works. Yeah, I don't know how it works because because only when I tried to start my own YouTube channel, I was trying to figure out, or when I had my Redbubble chat, when I had my shop, was the only time I was interested in how to post on Pinterest and those other areas because they said this is good for you. But I made nothing on Pinterest, and I don't know if I made anything on even Instagram. I think I made one sale, I think, through Pinterest. That was it. So I don't think it really works. And there's thousands of people
Mhm.
selling their stuff on Instagram,
Yeah,
but nothing sells. I doubt anything sells on Instagram. It's really, really hard.
yeah,
I was reading something else today. Not it was about women being obsessed with Instagram, being depressed, but also said boys were hooked. Boys were hooked on computer games and pornography, so they weren't doing anything in England. They said that's what was happening.
yeah,
They said 18 to 20 something year olds, because there was nothing else to do. So they get so addicted with the dopamine, nothing in life becomes real. So they don't want to do
yeah,
anything. But also they have really high expectations of a job. So they say if they're doing a boring job, they won't like it. And their salary they want is 40,000. And why they want this, when I say that 40,000 sterling, so not reais, whatever.
mhm,
So, but why they want this high salary is because they said, well, to live, I really need this to buy a house. I really need this. So I got no motivation to work in a shop or anything else, because if I work there, I never
mhm.
have my own house. I'm never going to pay for an apartment. What's the point then? So they just say, I prefer to play computer games or do things like that. So they were saying that's a real problem in most countries around the world. And then the last
Yeah,
one is why men and women are hating each other. There was another article that was right
yeah,
next to it. And it's like it's the same thing with politics. Men are more likely to be conservative, women more liberal. And men are more independent minded than before. So man wants to do his thing, a woman wants to do her thing, and they just get angry. So people are just living by themselves. They can't deal with each other. And since everyone's addicted to their phone, people are forgetting small talk. They don't have to do things together. So
yeah. I see that. For example, I remember one of the first times I got to the office, and I was meeting people, getting to know each other, and then we went to lunch. I went to lunch with my boss and some other colleagues that were also just as the same level as I am. And then we start, talking about some work experiences, life and stuff. And then I remember one of the other guys who was just scrolling at his phone while everybody was talking, and it was like very strange, because why are you on your phone when everybody's talking, everybody's getting to know each other, talking about other things, and I don't know why, but this guy always used to stay on his phone while everybody was talking,
yeah,
for example.
maybe he doesn't know how to
We
interact
were
with
in
people.
an environment drinking some coffee, just chatting, and he was there too, but he was on his phone, so it's a little bit strange. I
Yeah,
don't know
but I
why.
guess it's normal. I don't know if that's strange anymore. I don't think it's strange anymore. I think everyone's nearly on their phone doing
Yeah,
something.
but
So I
for
don't
me
think
it's strange, because I see that some people actually, when I'm talking to them and they start scrolling on his phone, I just stop talking, and they just don't notice that I stopped talking.
Oh, really? Okay.
They just focus on their phones, you know.
Okay. I don't know about scrolling. I
And
might send a message. I haven't sent a message when someone's talking to me. I look
yeah,
up a
and
phone,
then I say
something maybe.
and then I say anything, and they just go, uh-huh, yes. Mhm.
Okay. And then they don't
Makes
notice.
sense.
Okay, maybe they're not paying attention at all. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you're scrolling and looking at videos, your attention's divided, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you can't do it. We don't have split attention. Yeah, it's like you can't really multitask, I think is the word.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I can a little bit, but I don't
no,
like multitasking, you
I can
know.
do it too, but I don't know if it's just my, if I'm sitting down talking to someone, I might click on some pages or someone's asking me a question, and then I have to multitask. I have to listen to my student, and then I have to do something. Like now, someone's ringing, and I'm going to go off.
Yeah,
Or if I want to send a message to my wife
exactly.
when I'm talking to someone, I'll say, "Send me coffee" in the middle of the conversation,
Exactly.
because sometimes it just happens. Um, is what's on the
Okay.
inside more important than what's on the outside?
Well, you can talk about your character, you know,
Yeah,
about
sure.
loyalty.
Yeah. Well, of course,
So,
at the end of the day, I mean, it is, we'll say. I mean, of course, you want to be fit and healthy and attractive or something like this. But if someone's annoying, like it's like when you look at celebrities, I don't like a lot of them. Or someone will say Angelina Jolie's attractive, but I think she's really
yeah,
ugly because I think, not that she looks ugly, it's just because she's insane. And I go, oh, she's so ugly when she
yeah,
speaks. Or someone like Britney Spears is really stupid. So maybe someone finds her attractive, but I think she's really unattractive because she just sounds dumb. Or if I listen to someone,
yeah,
like if I listen to Natalie Portman, I think she looks attractive, but she sounds really attractive. So then I think she's really attractive when I hear her.
yeah,
So
sure.
it just depends.
For example, getting to other topic, when it comes to like working out and physique and stuff like that, I see that a lot of men are trying to, for example, just going to the gym to get as huge as possible, you know,
Not
but
the huge guys. Yeah.
their body is not functional, so they cannot run even a mile. They can
Yeah, those
swim.
guys, they look crazy. They're like this.
They're very huge and even strong, but they cannot run even less than a mile.
Mhm.
They can swim. They can even hold their own weight on a bar and do pull-ups. You know, so
They're insane, those
um,
ones. I've seen
there's
those.
this culture of like getting very big because of the bodybuilders and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's then a moda. That's what they. Yeah, but I see it in my wife's gym. I don't do it with my wife. I didn't do exercise at home, but I don't mind do that. But when I was one time I was outside my wife's gym and I see all the guys and they're like this and they can't walk. And I was like, why would you want to be that big? It looks so horrendous to me. I don't know why it looks good to some people.
yeah, and I see that it's also not comfortable, not good for your organs, you know, your heart, your lungs, because they start to get swollen. So the heart is basically
Oh,
a muscle,
okay.
so they start to
I didn't know that.
the heart starts to get bigger, and it's hard for you to even breathe,
Oh,
to
wow.
sleep. You
Okay.
start getting apnea,
Sleep,
you know,
sleep
when
apnea.
you're trying
Yeah.
to sleep,
How about? But I'm thinking.
and they breathe very heavy. So, like I said, if those guys like are bodybuilders, of course, their profession. It's their life to dedicate their life to the sport. But for example, a guy that it's not an athlete, doesn't have like the sport as a profession, and they're very big, use even steroids and stuff. I don't know why, because it doesn't make sense. You know, if he has to run, he probably will have a heart attack. You know,
Yeah, that could happen too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How many people are using drugs? I saw that was on the TV maybe a week or so ago.
it's
Some
very normal actually. You know,
woman had died of drugs in Brazil. I don't know. She was taking something for exercise and she had a reaction and she died. And then they were talking about being careful.
a lot of people die because of a reaction to steroids. You
Doesn't
know,
mean they're taking
or
steroids.
even
I didn't want them
people
taking.
that are very sensitive to caffeine. So, for example,
Okay, yeah, caffeine. Maybe that was in
now,
it too. Yeah, sure. Overdose.
I'm seeing now that my body is very sensitive to caffeine. So I took those monsters like some hours before going to run. A short run was, I believe, 5 to 6 miles, and then I felt very bad, because I felt that the my stomach didn't process all the the caffeine, all the taurine correctly,
And the
So we
sugar
started
too.
to
Yeah, it's mixing.
the sugar too as well.
They could be high
I'm
dose of
starting
sugar.
to try to eliminate as I can the caffeine from my daily use, and I feel much better,
Okay. I do love coffee. It really wakes up my brain, I say so.
I feel
I
as well.
so it helps me with my classes because I nearly always near two coffees because after 11 o'clock my mind will get a little bit slower, and when I take my second coffee I
I do
wake
as
up
well.
and then I can talk better, I realized. And for exercise I take creatine, but creatine's excellent for everything. It's excellent for your brain as
Yeah,
well. So
actually, it is.
someone's
Everybody should take it.
yeah, so people even who don't exercise can take creatine for their brain, so it's good that way. um,
Yeah.
is appearance more important in politics or show business?
Um, I don't know. I think in both, in
uh,
politics, I think politics is important
Yeah,
to
but
maintain the
I think you can be
appearances.
ugly though. I mean, I,
Yeah, you can be ugly, but
I don't think Lula's
you
attractive. You think Lula's? I don't think
yeah, he's not attractive. But I would say that
Dilma was
when it
worse.
comes to the
Like,
appearances, it's more of the promises you're trying to give to people. You know, I don't know.
it can. I think show business it works better though. They have to be a little bit more
Yeah,
glamorous.
show business.
You should look at the
When you say show business, what would be show business actually?
well. Show business is anything to do with TV, I guess. TV,
Oh
art
yes,
circus,
okay.
those things.
Movies, I don't know, streaming.
Yeah, anything like that,
Okay.
because you notice people who are more handsome or glamorous, but then they might have some charm. I mean, you can be ugly too and be charming. Look at
Actually,
Javier
he
Bardem.
is.
He's the Irish president. I was going to say for politics. I don't know if you can see a picture of him, but
Yeah, he's very ugly.
yeah, but he's really short. He's only like 5 foot. He's like 1 meter 50 or
He
something.
looks like that actor, the Danny DeVito.
Yeah, he's probably around the
That
same
is,
size, and he's funny. He's a really high pitched voice, and he's very intelligent though. He speaks in a really funny way. He goes, "One should do this and one should do that." No Irish
yeah,
people
but
speak that way.
he looks like a wise guy,
He is. He's fun, and his dog's nearly the same size as him. There's a picture of him with his dog. I think is like tiny. He's,
He looks a little bit of the Rush vocalist, the Geddy Lee.
I don't know who that is. Did you see Macron as well getting slapped during the week?
Oh, I saw
That
that.
was brilliant.
So,
And it just comes, and the week before, so
very funny.
he got his finger pulled the week before. No one saw this one because I was talking about this one. He was with the Turkish president, and the Turkish president was sitting down and held his finger like this, and he's trying to get his finger loose, and the Turkish president is just staring, but not looking at him because he's standing up, and it's just holding his finger. It's like a power trip. I'm better than you. I'm going to hold your finger.
Yeah,
It's crazy. And then he got slapped by his wife, and then he waves. It was so good. I like that. Trouble behind the scenes. Yeah, the
yeah,
interval. What
funny.
interactus? Yeah, something like that. In between that, what happens in between? We don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway, that was the last
okay.
question on appearance. So I'm gonna have other options for you: environment, banks, breakfast, AI, or anger.
AI, of course.
AI,
Let's talk
of
about
course.
AI.
Okay, I never had the AI questions open, so I'm gonna have a look now. Yeah, I have people. I had a guy yesterday, and he was working with artificial intelligence. Where is it?
Mm-hmm.
But his
Yeah.
his job was to create programs for companies. So it was a really interesting job. So he just got it all the time. He said after COVID, thousands of people are looking for his company. So now he's working with a company like with medicine and doctors to scan for cancer. So they're using the AI to identify
Wow.
a certain type of cancer. So
Oh, I believe I saw something when it comes to that. That, for example, they had an X-ray of the lungs, the doctor actually could observe what it had wrong with. So, for example, some pneumonia and I don't know any other disease. And when they put the X-ray on the AI, it gave the same diagnostic as the doctor. Just exactly the same thing.
yeah, it's excellent.
So it's scary.
It is scary because,
But
well, it's not scary. In this case, it's wonderful because we can diagnose things way
yeah,
easier.
It is.
and the treatments. But it's scary for a doctor because they might lose their job. So I had a doctor from Turkey, and she
Yeah.
sent me a message saying they're using AI in her workplace, and she goes, "It's impressive. Everything is AI." So she goes, "The AI is diagnosing the symptoms and giving the medicine," and it's like, and she goes, "It's just accurate." She goes, so the AI is supposed to assist her, but she feels as a doctor she's the assistant to the AI because her brain can't work as fast as the AI. You know?
Yeah. Well, actually, I use AI every day,
Yeah, I don't
not
really.
just for my work, but also for any other thing. If, for example, when I want to search for a meaning of a word or some topic that I don't have knowledge about it, I just ask directly on AI and ask it to give me some context, So it's much easier than try to search it up on Google and
But
make
Google does that
the
too, actually.
information.
If you ask for something on Google, the AI appears first as well. It's crazy. So I have my
Yeah,
Google uses AI as well. So
yeah.
what's the first thing you think about? The first question is, what do you think about when you hear the word AI?
AI.
I think specifically now, I think of
Perhaps
ChatGPT.
would be ChatGPT, but thinking a little bit out of the box would be like generative AIs. What you can do with AI to optimize your work, perhaps.
No.
I don't know. I know. I always try to to use the AI to optimize what I'm trying to do at my work, or perhaps, for example, I wanted to watch that movie from the book, the No Country for Old Men,
Oh yeah, that's good.
and it doesn't have on streaming, so I had to get on torrent, and I just went to ChatGPT and
Ask.
told him, oh, okay, so teach me how to use torrent. And then
Excellent. Yeah, I never
he
did that
said,
before.
so, oh, you install the Tor browser, you install the QB torrents, that is the torrents you get the magnetic links to download the torrents, and always use a VPN. So he makes a very brief tutorial, very simple
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, direct. It's easy.
and it's very, very nice, very, very
I done
nice.
that as well, actually,
So
for certain
it's
things.
very effective.
I never actually thought for movies. My Netflix isn't working on my TV, so I'm trying to figure out why. I can use my Netflix on my laptop, and I can attach my laptop to my TV, but it's just not working on the TV. So I'm trying to figure out why. But I have loads of YouTube
Yeah,
videos explaining that. It could be just my TV. I have a Panasonic one, and if it's older, it mightn't go off or something like that. But I'll figure it out.
yeah, even to translate from different languages,
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that I sent my CV to a job that was a Chinese company, but you had to at least have a proficient English, But all the things that you had to fulfill to send your CV were in Chinese, And then I just copy and paste on DeepSeek. That is
Oh
the
yeah, yeah. That's
Chinese.
even better for Chinese
It
translation as
is
well.
translated perfectly, because the main language of DeepSeek is Chinese.
Yeah, that's what. Well, ChatGPT is banned in China, so they're all using DeepSeek in their country.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Oh,
Because and also they said it's better for them because it's got to do with they can use the Chinese language in DeepSeek and it works better. So for it's more convenient as well. But in China, you're
oh,
forgetting
yes,
everyone's using VPNs. So all my Chinese students use YouTube,
yes,
Google.
yes. That's
They
right.
have to use VPN.
That's right.
It's like an
Yeah.
open secret. It's all against the law, but they're all doing it. What are the dangers of artificial intelligence?
First of all, I believe it's hallucination. Because generative AI starts to hallucinate a lot when it comes to certain topics. It doesn't have a lot of knowledge in their base. So, for example, when it comes to jurisdiction or legal laws in Brazil, it starts to hallucinate a lot. I've participated in a workshop of
Invent is the
a
word,
law
I guess.
teacher,
One.
that he was talking about AI, and he showed some tests and explained why in legal terms that AI hallucinates a lot when it comes to the law aspects.
Yeah, invent is a
So
better word, I guess.
perhaps that could be a problem.
Yeah, yeah, they make up
But
stuff. That people pointed out that a lot. It invents
yeah,
its own theories and everything. Yeah, so those can be wrong. What or will artificial intelligence ever be more intelligent than humans, than us? Is there a chance?
I hope not, but Probably they will, you know.
I think so. Well, put it this way: it's already factually correct with most things. We can't do that.
Yeah,
We can't remember things off our top of our head. It's just if you add emotions and new creativity to artificial intelligence, then it will be more intelligent than us.
sure.
I don't think we have time. So, Nicholas, our time's up. Nice talking to you again, and be looking forward to the new video, the new
Okay,
dealing with dynamics.
sure.
Okay, okay. Take care.
Thank